Introducing, hosting from the Portuguese section of Massachusetts, representing those that choose to Suze, representing for all his boys mocks because they can't see colors. The man, the king, the motherfucking Todd of this pod, Matt Souza.
Hosting from the taint of America, representing that fuck, marry, kill game, representing for all the dudes in the group chat, Central Time, representing the motherfucking Late Club, it's Gen DK.
Hi, welcome to GCDub, a game-changing podcast. My name is Jennifer Smith, and I'm here with my wonderful co-host, Matt Souza. How are you, Matty?
Hello, Jenny. We are back here for another month of the GCW wrestling business, and it's always great to talk with you, and always great to talk about GCW.
Yes, and just to let you know, we are on any podcatcher app. Just subscribe to the North-South Connection. And if you want to see our beautiful faces, which I know you do, you can also subscribe to the North-South Connection YouTube channel. So you can see us, you can see all the cool stuff that we have, especially for Money in the Bank season and for SummerSlam season coming up. We will have all kinds of special stuff. So you got to subscribe and you got to follow us. But we got a lot of things to talk about. A lot of news coming out of GCW and a lot of shows to go through. You want to talk about the news a little bit, or you want to get right to the results from
I mean, Lord knows there's a lot of both results and news, so it's your call. You want to do news, or you want to get right to the results?
Let's talk Jordan Oliver. Because it's very recent.
Yep.
Jordan Oliver got injured, torn ACL is what I saw. Is that right?
Yeah.
So he is expected to be out for a while.
Yeah, I think they said 9 to 12 months, I think is what they said on Twitter.
That's devastating.
Yeah.
Because Jordan, he's been a good champ in the past. He's been all across the world now. He's been killing it in his matches.
Yep.
And it felt like he was starting to ramp back up to something.
Yep. Yeah, it's coming at like the worst possible time, because I mean, we'll get to it. He's had some big matches this past month, and looked like he was really starting to move up the card, and then this happens, and it's like, Jesus Christ, now when he comes back, he's gonna have to start from like square one and get his bearings back and all that shit. Just, it sucks. And I mean, he's one of our favorites, obviously. He's been awesome. He's been awesome to watch, and to see him grow, and from like lower card stuff, the tag team with Nick Wayne, and now he's being involved in like main event type stuff, and now to have all that just taken away from him for the next year fucking sucks.
I saw the clip. It's on Twitter and stuff. I won't show it, but it was interesting to watch the parts of the match, because I saw that he put a video out, so did you watch that?
I didn't get a chance. I did see the video. I didn't get a chance to watch it, though.
Also same, so I guess I should have known that before I brought this up, but he might have said something different. He might have clarified, but to me it looked like it happened early in the match, and then he continued with it.
Yeah.
But then, I could be wrong, but it seems like he would tell Mason that he was injured, but Mason just continued to work on his legs.
Right.
After Jordan even won the match. So I couldn't tell what was kayfabe and what was real.
Right.
So I got very confused.
I mean, it could be a thing where like they knew he had the injury going into the match, and like maybe Oliver told him beforehand, like, hey, take it easy on my leg. Like, you can still work my leg, but like take it easy. Like, I'm almost wondering if maybe they knew beforehand and they kind of turned it into a storyline thing with Charles Mason working the leg.
Okay, I didn't
I could
consider
see
that.
I could see that being a thing.
Some questionable decision making if that is the case.
Yeah.
Because I mean, to me, he focused on the legs exclusively in the clips that I saw. So, yeah, maybe after the show I can watch Jordan's video that he put out, and he might explain what happened. But anyway, my heart goes out to the guy and to the promotion as a whole, because that's a big spot to fill.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I said, he's been really moving up the card. He's been main eventing some shows, and to just lose that guy for the next, 9 to 12 months, it's a bummer, because he's been awesome to watch. I mean, we've talked about him nonstop on this show, how great he is, and, to lose that guy, a guy who's like, he can go out there and have a great match with anybody, and to not have that for the next year, probably it sucks.
And his style is very bouncy and high flying, and you wonder if that hampers him in the future.
Right.
Does he lose that real ability that he has right now to because he's a long guy. He's like a lanky kind of guy, and he uses those long legs and kicks and flips and stuff like that. So I worry about it affecting him in the future, because I feel like you're never the same. Like, regardless, you heal, you train, you rehab, but do you lose confidence?
Right. Do you lose confidence? Do you have to just flat out change your style? Like, are you afraid to go like that hard with your style again out of fear of tearing it again? Like, I totally get all that. So, I mean, we'll see where it goes, but yeah, it could be a career changing type of thing for Oliver.
Exactly. Yeah. So. Or yeah. Hopefully not career ending for sure.
Right.
What other news do we want to talk about?
Well, I mean, there's one major news item that we can talk about very early on if we want to get into results here, because it happens on that show.
Okay,
I think the Jordan Oliver thing, which broke as we're recording this yesterday, I think that was probably the big thing,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, let's get into the results then.
So we go back to June 14th, lights out from Golden, Colorado. Hunter Drake defeated Gino Rivera. Dark Sheik and Effie beat Fuego del Sol and Sam Stackhouse. Danhausen beat Broski Jimmy. Joey Janela defeated JKM. Braden Toon, Bruce Waynes, Dorian Maddox, and Jeffrey John beat Dave Cole, Johnny Casanova, Manny Lemons, and Ocean Avery. Zilla Fatu beat Cole Radrick. A man like DeReese defeated Ali Catch. Warner defended the world title successfully against Jordan Oliver. There you go. And then in the main event, in a death match, it was Nick Gage beating Orin Veit. I never know how to say that name, but
right.
That main event was very brutal to the point where Nick Gage, as we're recording this, hasn't wrestled since because he got hurt during it. So
oh no. Not another one.
Shit. They had to pull him from a couple of shows that he was supposed to be on because he got hurt during it. I'm assuming it was during this match because it was very violent. But
well, I'm gonna need him to recover before Cleveland. So he has a couple weeks to get back in the ring.
But
Did you watch anything else on this one?
I did see the world title match. It was great. Like we were just talking about, Jordan Oliver's a guy who can bring it with any style, and another great match under Mance's belt. He's been really good as world champion since he won it. So this was a really fun match and cool looking building too. I think it looked almost like a old stop for like the NWA in like 1985. So it's kind of a cool looking building, but yeah, I'll say that death match would be right up your alley, Jenny, with Cage and Orin. Like so yeah, you should probably watch that if you get a chance. So then the next day, we go to Hit 'em Up in Los Angeles. Jordan Oliver defeated Broski Jimmy. Megan Bain beat Sandra Moon. Sydney Akeem beat Jack Cartwheel. Viva Van beat Man Like Derice. Zilla Fatu beat Bobby Flacco and Hunter Drake. Manders beat Braden Toon, Jordan Cruz, Mr. Danger, our friend Rob Shit, and Sam Stackhouse in a scramble. Los Macisos beat the Stoner brothers, who are, of course, Rick Scott Stoner and Scott Rick Stoner. Danhausen beat Kylie Ray. Thrussy beat Bodie Young Prodigy and the Garbage Daddies. And in the main event, Mance Warner and Joey Janela fought to a no contest when, can you believe it, Blake Christian returned during this match.
Holy shit.
And made happenings happen. He went after both guys. He had his own belt. He's got his own version of the GCW title now. So as we sit here right now, we have potentially 2 GCW world champions. What is happening, Jenny?
What the fuck? So I didn't get to watch it. I just saw some clips and heard about it. Well, we knew that Blake was going to come back, right?
Right.
He was stripped of his title. He's got business. He's got unfinished business. So I love this. Obviously, it moves Mance right along from the Effie stuff, which was fantastic. Gave him some good title defenses, and now he can move right into Blake Christian and throw Joey Janela in the mix. I really like this idea.
I will say, I wasn't expecting him to be back like a month after they stripped him of the title. Like,
he wasn't supposed to be gone that long. Cardona's a crazy person.
But it was like, I wasn't expecting him to come back at this show. I thought if he was going to come back, it would be like sometime later this year, and they were just going to run with Mance. And but there is a match that is set up between these 2 guys, the 3 guys rather. I don't have it here in our upcoming stuff because it's happening at the end of August, but there will, I guess I'll say it now, there will be a triangle ladder match between Mance Warner, Joey Janela, and Blake Christian that's happening at Homecoming. I want to say it's like August, the 3rd week of August, 4th week of August in Atlantic City for the undisputed world title. So,
man, that's going to be
amazing. Someone may die in that one.
We had a lot of time to build to that. So that'll be good.
But yeah, that match should be very good, and it's kind of like, I know, I mean, we got a lot of time to talk about this. We'll talk about it more next month. But right now, I don't have a fucking clue who's going to win that match. So that's always a good thing in my book. So
my money's on Joey Janela, baby.
Yeah, it feels like, I mean, listen, it should have been time in Philly, but it feels like now it's really time to probably pull the trigger on him.
Finish the story.
But
Joey.
Oh man, but Mance has been so good as world champion, though.
True.
I know it's tough, but we'll see where that goes. We still got a lot of time before we get there. And then this was a big 3 show weekend, said the man who can't fucking talk. As I Can't Feel My Face was on the Sunday in Mesa, Arizona. Billy Starks defeated Hunter Drake. Man Like Derice beat Jack Cartwheel. Alec Price, Bodie Young Prodigy, Cole Radrick, and Jordan Oliver defeated Brick Shithouse Toon of Braden Toon, Jordan Cruz, Rob Shit, and Sam Stackhouse. Zilla Fatu beat Manders. Megan Bain defeated Kylie Ray. Thrussy beat Los Macisos and Sandra Moon. Fuego del Sol beat Sam Stackhouse. And in the main event, Joey Janela defeated Broski Jimmy. Now, this was one of the shows Gage was supposed to be on. I believe it was supposed to be Gage and Fuego del Sol, I think was the match that was scheduled here. And they had Sam Stackhouse replace him. I mean, not the best. It was a Sunday matinee show, so I mean, not the best. The main event was really fun. It was like your typical hardcore war, but and Zilla Fatu continues to impress the hell out of me. Like his match with Manders, I thought was great. And considering Zilla Fatu has had like I think 30 matches in his career, just to see how fucking good he is already is kind of frightening, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, I mean, fairly standard GCW show here.
How long before Fatu joins the E? And,
I was thinking about that. I got a feeling he won't be long for GCW if he keeps showing out like he's been showing out. And I will have more on a Zilla Fatu match later on, I'll say.
Okay, fantastic. Broski Jimmy. I wanted to talk about his glow up
Mm-hmm.
a little bit because heard him on the mic, and we'll talk about that later. But he has really, I think, blossomed
Yeah.
under Cardona and Steph DeLander.
Mm-hmm.
They put him in a great spot. They hype him up, and I think he's really learned a lot in the couple months that he's been in that group.
Yeah, like it's a thing that shouldn't have worked when they did it.
Right.
When they had Cardona beat him in Brooklyn last year or whenever it was, like it's a gimmick that shouldn't have worked, but yet here it is working. And he's like, credit to Jimmy, he's putting his whole ass into it, which
Yes,
really
he
adds
is.
to it. Like he's really embracing that gimmick change with everything he's got. So that's been super entertaining, and he's kind of a good shitbag heel. Like
It's fun. I
especially
like
if like Cardona isn't around, like he's perfect for a guy like
Yeah.
Joey to main event one of these shows, you know?
He's starting to get a lot of swagger, picking up
Mhm.
that that swagger from Cardona, and then improving on the mic a ton, I
Mhm.
thought. And then that confidence kind of translates into
Yep.
his work, I thought. So
Yeah,
anyway,
I mean,
just
and
some
Jimmy's
rest
always
Jimmy
been
thoughts.
he's always been a guy who's been super entertaining since we
Truth.
started watching GCW, and now this extra gimmick, it's like I feel like he was one of those guys who was kind of like they were throwing him in a lot of just random scrambles and stuff. He wasn't really doing that much, so let's throw him with Matt Cardona and see what he can do. Turns out it's pretty great. So
Good idea.
yeah. So then we go to No Sleep in Houston from June 28th. Dulce Tormenta defeated Broski Jimmy. Joey Janela beat Chris Carter. Manders beat Brick Savage. Jordan Oliver defeated Fuego del Sol. In a scramble match, it was Sam Stackhouse beating Bobby Flacco, Calabus, Epidemius Jr., Mago, and Shota. Good Lord. For the GCW World title, Dante Leone defeated Mance Warner by disqualification in a minute and a half. Los Desperados defeated Los Macizos. Microman defeated Dark Sheik. And in the main event, a Houston street fight, Zilla Fatu beat John Wayne Murdoch. So the Mance Warner thing, this title match ended up basically being a setup for one of the tag matches the next night for the main event the next night. It was basically just a wild brawl. I don't even think the match even really technically started. They listed it as a DQ here, but I don't remember hearing a bell necessarily ring. Basically, the match was Mance fighting the fucking crowd for 10 minutes. Like
Wow.
someone threw a wiffle ball bat at him at one point. Yeah, it was a hell of a thing. So yeah, definitely very fun. Mance getting all of the heat. I mean, he was going into the crowd and getting in people's face and shit. It was very entertaining. But as for the match, it was I'm not sure it was one. So
when I saw that, I was like, "Is that a typo? What happened?"
No.
There?
And there's one match from this show that I will get to later.
Okay, awesome.
I'll say. So then we go to the next day, Crime Wave in Dallas, as Blake Christian returned to the ring. He defeated Sam Stackhouse. Ali Catch defeated Dulce Tormenta. Jordan Oliver defeated John Wayne Murdoch. Sidney Akeem defeated Ninja Mac. Violence is Forever defeated Los Desperados to retain the tag titles. Mother, Father, Daddy of Cole Radrick, Dark Sheik, and Effie defeated the Bob Squad of Bobby Flacco, Chris Carter, and Shota, and Lucha Libre guys. These are great team names of Calabas, Epidemius Jr., and Mago. Galeno Del Mal defeated Fuego del Sol. In a mask versus mask match, Microman defeated Danhausen. Joey Janela and Megan Bain defeated Los Macizos. And in the main event, Manders and Dante Leone beat Broski Jimmy and Mance Warner. So the mask versus mask match was very fun. Danhausen quite literally had to put a mask on to be involved in this mask versus mask match. So that was very entertaining. Good to see Blake Christian back in the ring after being gone for a month and a half. That was pretty good. Jordan Oliver, again, with a guy like John Wayne Murdoch, who does like the death match style. He mixed in pretty well. It wasn't a death match, but it was more like a John Wayne Murdoch style match, if I'm remembering it right. That was really fun. And the two tag matches, the two main event tag matches were also really fun. So pretty good show here. I enjoyed what I saw of it. The mask versus mask match was probably my favorite, which is a hell of a thing to say.
Yeah, I imagine that to be very entertaining.
Hmm.
It seems like Manders is getting a lot of matches here lately.
Yeah.
Winning some matches, I think.
Yeah,
So
it feels like, because I mean they were both part of the second gear crew, so I wonder
mhm,
if there's a Mance Manders title match coming at some point.
does seem that way.
I could see that coming for sure. So
A quick plug for him. He did an interview with our friend Ben Zani on
hmm
his show called Row One Seat One right here on the North South Connection.
hmm
So that was maybe a couple weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. So it should be pretty recent in your feed. So
hmm
look it up. It's a good conversation. The audio is a little iffy. They had like some audio issues, but this is a good interview with Manders and Ben on Row One Seat One.
hmm So then we go to, my God, the 4th of July. I know
Oh boy.
our last episode, we didn't think there would be a Backyard Wrestling
Mhm.
6, but with days to go before the 4th, it was a 4th of July miracle as they announced Backyard Wrestling 6 from a backyard and God knows where.
Mhm.
It was KJ Styles, who was Kerry Morton, as he beat Sean Henderson. Claude Morrow Jr., who was Ruckus, defeated Emanon, who was Broski Jimmy. Brian Johnson defeated Adam. Adam was referee Adam Galt.
Oh, nice.
In a three-way death match, J.J. Allen defeated Dr. Redacted and Tarzan Duran. Jordan's team of Charlie Tiger, Jordan Oliver, and Matthew Yeager defeated Crew, which was Everest, Kurt Bale, and Lance Scaper. Mr. J defeated Lil Skittle. And in the main event, it was Vampiro defeating Lucky 13. This, like every one of these, was very fun. Violent J from the Insane Clown Posse was on commentary
Amazing.
for the entire show and was fantastic at it.
Along
So,
with Brett Lauderdale.
right, that was very. The three-way death match was fucking insane. They
Yeah.
had this. There was, I think it was J.J. Allen at one point used a bat, and somehow when he hit, I think it was Tarzan Duran with the bat caught on fire. I don't
Oh
know how it
shit.
worked. It was some sort of warlock sorcery type thing going on. I don't know how it worked.
They had magic in the backyard.
Apparently, I mean, it looked like it was wrapped in paper, and then when he hit him with it, it just fucking caught on fire. I don't know how that works, but there was a lot of fire on this show. I know this will surprise you, but Vampiro, believe it or not, used fire.
Oh,
He
weird.
he blew fire at Lucky 13, and Lucky 13 blocked the fire with a door, so that was very fun.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, just it's a ridiculous show, and I mean ridiculous in the best way possible. Just super entertaining. There's fucking trampolines next to the ring. There's
Yes.
swimming pools.
Pools.
They're flying around the ring. It's just
Yeah.
it's wildly entertaining. So definitely seek that. It's a quick show too. I think I don't even know if it's 2 hours long, if that.
Mhm.
So yeah, definitely seek that one out. And then finally, for
I'm going to talk real quick about
okay.
that show
Yep. go ahead.
because I watched a little bit of it and then
Mhm.
I put it on in the background. That atmosphere is amazing. This
Yeah.
is one of my favorite things that GCW does.
Mhm.
It's one of the reasons I fell in love with this promotion because the idea of people with a ring and all this insane, like there's like farm equipment and like you said, the trampolines, the pools, just
Yep.
like logs, like dead trees laying, and then everybody's watching under these tents.
Yep.
You could tell it's hot as fuck.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And everybody's sweating and like sunburned. It is unlike anything,
Yeah.
and I love it. I love all of this. I was thrilled for the combination of Brett Lauderdale and Valid J on commentary. I just thought they were so funny, and I watched the Kerry Morton match.
that was a hell of a thing.
Great. It was great, and he is just such a fucking piece of shit.
Yep.
And it's so fun. And at the end of the match, he's talking shit to Violent J, and Jay just slaps the fuck out of
Yep.
Kerry Morton, and it was great. Fucking worth a watch, and it's just everything. Like it's the best. Like, it's one of the best shows they do.
It's a vibe. Like, that's the best way. And there was one point too before we move on in that death match where Dr. Redacted had Tarzan Duran in a headlock, and he brought him to Violent J, and he was basically asking Violent J for a hit of his weed. that was yeah.
Love it.
You also need to watch that match, Jenny.
Somebody just got hit with a surfboard.
Yeah,
so that was great.
It's and Violent J's commentary was unfucking
great. Yeah.
Sounds like he was chugging glass before he put the headset on, but that's just how he. It's fucking
it's
great.
So great. He loves wrestling so much.
Oh, totally.
It comes through so much. He's just great. Yep. I love listening to him.
Yep, it's fantastic stuff. So, and then the next day we went to Toronto, which is not at all the United States, as we have. Nope. Four-way match. Jack Cartwheel defeated Charlie Tiger, Harlan Abbott, and Marcus Mathers. Megan Bain defeated Jody Threat. Gringo Loco defeated Galeno Del Mal. Speedball Mike Bailey, I feel like I haven't said his name in a while, beat Kerry Morton.
It's been a while.
The Bollywood Boys defeated the Garbage Daddies. Gabe Kidd beat Joey Janela. Jordan Oliver defeated Charles Mason. Bussy and Masha Slamovich defeated Green Phantom, PCP, Crazy Fucking Manny, and Sexy Eddie. Violence is Forever defended the tag title successfully against Dynasty, and in a hardcore match main event, Blake Christian and Mance Warner fought to a no contest.
Oh, yeah.
So I did see a little bit of this show. I didn't get a chance to watch all of it. The 6-man tag that was Bussy and Masha Slamovich. Masha was replacing Nick Gage. Again, still hurt. Gage was supposed to be in that match, so who knows when he's coming back. The main event got super violent, and if I remember right, Joey Janela interfered in the main event, and then fucking chaos ensued. It ended with Mance Warner stabbing Megan Bain in the eye with a screwdriver. So
yeah, I'll talk about that one a little bit later.
Yep.
Hell of a vibe change from 4th of July in somebody's backyard to fucking Canada.
Right.
It's insane. And I'm seeing a lot of new names. Like, who the fuck is Gabe Kidd defeating Joey Janela?
Gabe Kidd, I believe, used to be in New Japan.
Okay.
I think he just left, or he's there but not wrestling full time. It's something like that. But I believe he wrestled in New Japan.
And Megan Bain sure seems to be on a tear.
Yeah,
winning a lot of matches, being on a lot of cards.
Like out of nowhere too. Like
right, absolutely nowhere.
I think she was on like either the Cage of Survival or the Tournament of Survival show. And then all of a sudden, since then, it's been like, well, we're going to just strap a rocket to her and put her involved in main event feuds, and here we go. So
she's very much a face, because I was thinking Allie Catch match with her might be fun, but, Allie is like face.
Right.
I don't matter typically that much in GCW, but, that would be a fun match.
Right.
And, I can see Allie, like, really going to town on her, so maybe that'll be something in the future. All right, let's move along to something else. All right, Maddie, this is our match of the month.
So, my match of the month is the Houston street fight between Zilla Fatu and John Wayne Murdoch.
Nice.
Holy shit. These two guys beat the tar out of each other with all kinds of glass and doors and just You got Zilla Fatu no selling light tube shots, which was fucking
What?
insane. You got him. He at one point he goes for a spear in the corner, and John Wayne Murdoch moves out of the way, and Fatu just crashes through a plate glass window
Oh,
and
fuck.
hits the floor. It's like there's, like I said before, he's had like 30 matches in his career, but there's an energy with him, and I'm a big presence guy in wrestling.
Mhm.
There's a presence with him where he gets into the ring. It's like you kind of know that shit's about to go down,
Mhm.
and he reminds me a lot, and this may be sacrilege to say on a GCW podcast, but he reminds me a lot of when Braun Breaker was in NXT, like
Hmm.
that type of vibe where he's very raw. He's only had like, 20, 30 matches, sort of like Braun Breaker did by the time he got to NXT. And he just fucking wrecks shop in front of everybody. And I think this was the first time we really saw him in this type of deathmatch environment. And he fucking fit in perfectly with it. The finish was a little wonky. He does that flying Samoan spike as his finish. He tried to light his thumb on fire,
What?
but the thumb would not light. So
Oh no,
he unfortunately had to do the regular flying Samoan spike, not the one that was on fire. But
not the flaming one.
no, unfortunately not. But yeah,
How do they light their thumbs on fire?
he had tape around it, and he was trying to
Like
light.
it was like soaked in lighter fluid, maybe, or
I'm
something.
guessing,
Or he forgot to soak it in lighter fluid.
maybe. But in any event, just seeing someone no sell light tube shots. He takes him to the head, and he just stands there and looks at John Wayne Murdoch
Damn.
like, yeah. Now what? It's fucking awesome. So I'm becoming a big Zilla Fatu fan, and it kind of, to your point that you made earlier, it kind of frightens me or scares me that he's this good, because he may not be in GCW for long, and that kind of bums me out. But
Yeah. Not many chances to get hit in the head with a light bulb in any other promotion or light
no,
tube.
no.
Yeah. So wow. Okay, I'll have to seek that one out.
Yep, yeah, definitely. It's right up your alley.
All right. I had limited time. But what I decided to do was watch a couple things and things that I was matches I was specifically interested in.
Hmm.
And I landed on Blake Christian versus Mance Warner from Worst Behavior in Toronto. Um, to start that, Cardona and Steph and Jimmy Broski are in the ring, kind of cutting a promo about Toronto and um, Matt saying funny things about Money in the Bank and Chelsea, because
Hmm.
the crowd's like, "We want Chelsea," chants. It was great. Um, and then Blake Christian comes in to interrupt, and he insults Cardona, and he was like, I think it's one of three. He said, "Why did you strip me of my title?" It's one of three reasons, like, um, because Mance is Steph's boyfriend,
Hmm.
or um, some other crap. Anyway, he was saying shit about Chelsea and coming up with, you know, it was good stuff. Like, he was
Hmm.
really good. I butchered it absolutely, but anyway, because I didn't write it down. So anyway, Cardona just brings out Mance. He's like, "Well, fuck you. Your match with Mance is about to start."
Hmm.
And then Cardona goes to commentary, which I really like.
Yep.
And then he says that he stripped Blake of his title because he went to Japan and wasn't
Hmm.
defending the title. I'm like,
Right.
okay, that's lame, but
Right. Yeah.
whatever. And then he said they talked about Joey Janela's claim to the title, and Matt said Joey cannot be the face of the company because he's missing a tooth, which was very petty of him.
Yeah. Very. Wow.
But in the match, Blake was lethal,
Yep.
and he had a lot of arm work, a lot of limb work in that
Hmm.
match with Mance. But they did a lot of stuff with the chairs. The chairs got dented as fuck.
Yep.
Um, Blake did a cool. He put a door in the corner up on the second rope and put Mance on there and did a double stomp off of the top rope onto the door, onto Mance, and twice he did this, and the door did not break. So that was amazing. And then we got Joey running in along with Steph, Jimmy, and Megan Bain because her and Joey are aligned, which is interesting. And then Mance's screwdriver comes out and he stabs it in Megan Bain's eye.
Yep.
That was gruesome and amazing
Yep.
and won my heart. It was brutal. Then they roll in a no contest and the show just ends.
Yep.
So lots of drama in that. Well built, good wrestling match, good commentary, and another stepping stone on this whole feud with Joey Janela. And I love Matt Cardona's influence in this as well.
Yep.
What do you think of him as GM?
It's tough, right? Because, I mean, he's still hurt. So he can't wrestle. But he's such a fucking heat magnet that you kind of have to find a way to get him on these shows because he's so good at being a shitbag. Like, he's the type of guy you can't just lose for 7-8 months and not have him do anything. Like, with how he's been since, he really showed up in GCW, like, you kind of got to have him around. I mean, is the GM thing the best way to do it? Probably not. Like, I think maybe if you have him just manage somebody, like just have him be like Broski Jimmy's manager or something instead of the GM thing. Because the GM thing it's a little weird. I get why they're doing it, but it feels very WWE to me.
I was gonna say, is it too much wrestling for wrestling? Like, is it?
I think for GCW, I think it might be. And I know we talked about in the past that we wanted like more storyline stuff with GCW, and like we got it with Effie and Mance Warner. But I don't know if Matt Cardona being a general manager is exactly what I was talking about. I mean, it's okay, but I think he might have been better served as being like just a shitbag manager for Broski Jimmy, for Mance, for Steph, something like that, instead of being like a general manager type of deal.
I won't disagree, but I think I like it a little bit more just because he's so fucking good on the mic and like you said, presence and aura means something to me in wrestling, and he has that in spades. I love his presence. I love having him around. I love listening to him talk, and I miss watching him wrestle. I'm glad he's able to do something at least. It's good to have him around. Stripping Blake of the title, ultimately, I don't know if that's a good idea. We'll see how it plays out, but that might have been like a little too far.
Yeah, I think like if Blake was going to be gone for like 6 months, then I totally get it. But he ended up being gone for 4 weeks. Yeah. So it's just because he went to Japan and was in a tournament. It's weird, and I think I said it on the last episode. I think hindsight being 2020, they would have just done the title switch from Blake and Philly and given it to Joey, and we wouldn't have had this whole mess of a world title situation we've had really since April. So
yeah, it feels like, because we're on a show called The Extreme Three-Way Dance, and we are going through the history of ECW. This feels sort of ECW-y, like the booking kind of reacting to things weirdly.
It feels like, remember at the end of '96 when they took the title off of Raven because he went to rehab?
Yes. They came right back.
They gave it to Sandman for like 3 weeks, and then Raven came back out of rehab and won the title back. It kind of feels like that to me,
No, this is why my brain wouldn't have remembered that, but it did spark that memory. But then I'm like, yes, that's exactly what I mean.
Yeah. Similar. It's a similar type of deal.
Similar vibes. So not new. You do what you got to do. When circumstances come up, you have to pivot sometimes.
Right.
So we'll see.
The other thing too, before I wonder if if the Megan Bain spot was going to be reserved for Sawyer Wreck before Sawyer got hurt.
Ooh, that's a
because
great point.
because Joey and Sawyer were doing their tag stuff last year with Charles
Right.
Mason. So I wonder if Megan Bain is kind of getting the spot that would have been reserved for Sawyer if she didn't snap her arm.
Yeah, I miss her a lot too.
Yeah.
That sucks. Hopefully she's back at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like she's been gone a while.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I can't remember the last time she was on.
I haven't seen her on social or anything either.
Yeah.
Yeah, great point there. All right, what do we got for upcoming shows for GCW?
Well, first on July the 18th, we go to Louisville.
Oh no,
Louisville! Perfect time in Kentucky for believe me, for a rare Thursday show as Broski Jimmy will face Hoodfoot. Well, this match isn't happening. It was supposed to be Jordan Oliver versus Masha Slamovich. That's obviously not happening. And who knows if this next match is going to happen? Too Tough Tony and Nick Gage versus the Rejects, which would have been violent as all hell. So who knows if that still happens? Billy Starks will face Rachel Armstrong. This next match, Effie versus Sean Ross Sapp. And then the main event, Mance Warner versus Myron Reed for the GCW World Title. Any thoughts, Jenny?
I'm not a hater of Mr. Sapp. He's fine. He's fine.
Fightful confirms that he is in fact fine.
But look, who is this match for?
It's a great question.
I don't get it. I just seems dumb.
From what I gather, they were having some Twitter beef, and then they decided okay, let's do a match. That's kind of.
See, I didn't know that, so I guess that makes more sense. Because to me, I'm like, this is out of nowhere. What?
I mean, to be fair, I had to look why it was happening, but there is stuff on Twitter where Sean Ross Sapp's kind of going. I guess he said something on one of his 85 shows that he does about Effie, and I guess the feud kind of started on Twitter from what I gather. So, but it's still a very weird match. When I saw that pop across Twitter last night, I was like, oh my God, what are we doing? But
I will be curious, I guess. I don't know.
It's very weird. And the other weird thing too, is this show is happening on a Thursday, which is very strange. I don't understand that, but it looks like granted, it seems like half the people on this show are hurt, but if it went as planned, it would have been good. It'll still probably be good, and I'm sure the main event will be really good. Mance has been on fire, and Myron Reed's super talented, so that'll be fun to see. But and then we go to Friday, So High in Sauget, Illinois. Bang & Matthews will face Los Desperados. The Rejects will face Mother Father of Dark Sheik and Effie. Myron Reed will face Sidney Akeem. Danhausen will face Masha Slamovich. Blake Christian and Shane Mercer will face Joey Janela and Megan Bain. And in the main event, Mance Warner will face Hoodfoot for the GCW World Title. That main event will probably be exceptionally violent, which I'm all in for. Hoodfoot he's a deathmatch guy. He does deathmatch type stuff.
I was just about to ask, who is that?
And Mance Warner is Mance Warner, so there's a strong chance that match will be exceptionally violent, which I'm here for. And Mance Warner is one of the best at doing that. So
I've been watching Game of Thrones for the first time ever, and Hoodfoot definitely sounds like a Game of Thrones character.
Just killed in the Red Wedding.
Yes.
Yeah. I call thee Hoodfoot. From Indianapolis on the 20th, 3 shows that week. Holy mackerel. Nate Webb, this is Don't Tell Me What to Do is the name of this show. Nate Webb will face Broski Jimmy. Violence is Forever versus Mother Father for the GCW tag titles. The Rejects will face Injustice. I guess not, because that's Jordan Oliver supposed to be on that team, and Myron Reed. This also may not happen. Nick Gage was supposed to face Hoodfoot on this show, so we'll see what happens there. And in the main event, Mance Warner will defend the world title against Megan Bayne, probably with fresh screwdriver wound in her eyeball.
Yep.
So
she might be one-eyed Megan Bayne.
Yeah, that's what they call her. But yeah, so I mean, you got 3 sneaky big shows there on a Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So those could all be really good with a lot of good stuff out. Mance Warner defending the title on all 3 of these shows too, which is by Sunday the 21st, he may be dead. I mean, just a lifeless husk traveling to God knows where. But yeah, big weekend for him, or week for him. Then we have from New York City on the 28th, Josh Barnett's Bloodsport, as he's bringing that back, as we have Homicide versus Mike Santana. The Creed brothers from NXT will be wrestling on this show. As of this recording, they haven't announced who they are facing yet, but they've been announced for it. And Shayna Baszler will face Miyu Yamashita. So
nice.
That's the one show I kind of wish I went to in Philly. But unfortunately, I think I had arrived 2 hours before the show started, so that wasn't going to happen. But
yeah, it was too early.
Yeah, I do wish I went to that one, so maybe next time. But those shows are always super fun, and seeing Baszler back in it is, and seeing Homicide in this type of environment too, could be really fun. I'm a massive Homicide fan, the wrestler, not the murdering thing. But
sure,
well, we'll see where that goes. And then we go to Cleveland, which you will be at now and forever, August the 2nd. 1 match announced for that so far. Joshua Bishop will face Zilla Fatu. So you'll see Zilla Fatu. Joshua Bishop, I think we've seen before. He's kind of like a Psycho Sid type of wrestler. So that could be very fun. And then one more match to announce here. Can I Trust You from Asbury Park on August the 4th. Matt Tremont versus Zilla Fatu. Good God, someone may die during that one.
That sounds bloody.
Yeah, that it will be. Holy hell. Good Lord. Have they been to Asbury Park before? Why do I feel like that sounds new? Usually they go to Atlantic City when they do Jersey.
I feel like I've maybe seen them from Asbury Park before. I could be wrong, but
yeah, I don't know. But
sure.
That'll be exceptionally violent. So that is it for upcoming stuff as of right now. And of course, like I mentioned, the homecoming weekend, I think, is August 20th and 21st. The main event of that is the triple ladder match, Blake Christian, Mance Warner, Joey Janela for the world title. Obviously, we'll have more on that on our next episode.
All right. That will be in about a month, hopefully, if we can stay on current trend. And in the meantime, what kind of shows can people find you on?
You can find me over on the Backbone Wrestling Network, where we have all kinds of good stuff. Highway to the Impact Zone, where we live watch TNA Wrestling. We're in 2007, getting ready as we're recording this to record our 100th episode, which is
amazing,
insane. We've done 100 episodes of that show. Many have said it would never last that long, but here we are, 100 episodes in. God help us all. Also on the Backbone Wrestling Network, we have YouTube Roulette. A new episode of that will probably be out by the time you hear this, where we had a special guest of Keithy by God Langston joined us. So give that a listen. That was very fun.
That is a chaotic show.
Yep. So listen to everything on the Backbone Wrestling Network. We are all very proud of everything we've done on that podcast network so far. So check that out. Find me on Twitter at msouza1991.
I am very proud of all you guys have done on that network as well. A real team effort, and I feel like everybody's on their shit, and having fun.
Yep.
Just putting out really cool shows, covering all kinds of topics. So
Yep.
I'll talk about one show I have on the backbone. It's called Linking Up Luchas. We are going through Lucha Underground.
Mm-hmm.
We're in season 2 right now, and it's a great show.
Yep.
Love that promotion, learning so much about it, and getting to see stars kind of before they were stars
Yep.
in a lot of cases. So check out Linking Up Luchas. Also, right here on the No So, not every Wednesday, but most Wednesdays, you'll find one of my shows. This one, Exposition, it's an X-Men podcast with my friend Tim Capel. They're going through the OG animated series and all the movies. And then Talking Docs is a show that I do with my friends Logan and Cowboy Roger. And we just completed our season on serial killers.
Mm-hmm.
So we will be moving on to a different topic. And check that out. And again, check us out on the Extreme Three-Way Dance if
Mm-hmm.
you want to learn the history of ECW. We're just balls deep in that promotion. We're in 1999 and we started in 1994.
Balls
So,
Mahoney deep. Yeah.
yep. hmm And lots of balls jokes on that show as well.
Plenty of them. Yeah.
You can find me on all socials at Jenny Position. And I think that'll do it for you and me, Maddie.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you guys for listening, and we will see you next time. And don't forget, it's NDK
All fucking day.
day.